In the late summer of 1939, Europe stood on the edge of catastrophe. The fragile peace that had followed the First World War was already crumbling. Nazi Germany under Adolf Hitler had spent years testing the limits of international tolerance. Austria had been annexed, Czechoslovakia dismantled, and each time the response from Europe had been hesitation rather than resistance. Encouraged by these successes, Hitler now turned his attention eastward. The next target was Poland. Germany's plan for the invasion was built around a revolutionary military doctrine known as blitzkrieg or lightning war. Instead of slow-moving fronts and trench warfare, blitzkrieg emphasized speed, coordination, and shock. Tanks would punch through enemy lines, aircraft would destroy communications and infrastructure, and fast-moving infantry would surround and annihilate isolated units. The goal was not just to defeat the enemy, but to do so before they could organize an effective defense. At dawn on September 1st, 1939, the attack began. German forces crossed the Polish border from three directions simultaneously: west, north, and south. The assault was sudden and overwhelming. The Luftwaffe bombed airfields, railways, bridges, and cities, crippling Polish communications and destroying much of the Polish Air Force on the ground. German tanks advanced rapidly, bypassing strongpoints and driving deep into Polish territory. Poland fought back with determination and courage. Polish soldiers defended their positions fiercely, and early resistance slowed the German advance in several areas. At Westerplatte, a small Polish garrison held out for 7 days against intense bombardment, becoming a powerful symbol of resistance. Elsewhere, Polish units attempted counterattacks and defensive stands along rivers and fortified positions. But the speed and coordination of the German attack made these efforts increasingly difficult. Poland's army was brave, but it faced enormous disadvantages. It lacked modern tanks, adequate air cover, and efficient communication systems. German forces moved faster than Polish commanders could respond, cutting supply lines and surrounding entire divisions. Civilians soon became caught in the chaos. Cities were bombed repeatedly, roads filled with refugees, and panic spread as German columns advanced. Warsaw, the capital, became a central target. The city endured relentless air raids that destroyed neighborhoods and killed thousands of civilians. Despite the devastation, Polish defenders continued to resist, hoping for relief from their allies in the West. Britain and France had declared war on Germany on September 3rd, but their armies remained largely inactive, offering Poland little immediate help. As the situation worsened, the final blow came from the east. On September 17, 1939, Soviet forces crossed the Polish border, claiming they were intervening to protect ethnic minorities. In reality, they were executing the secret terms of their agreement with Germany. Poland now faced invasion from two sides, making organized resistance impossible. The Polish government fled the country, and remaining forces were left to fight isolated and hopeless battles. By early October, the campaign was over. Poland had been defeated in just over a month. The country was divided between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, erased from the map once again. But the end of the fighting marked the beginning of something far darker. The occupation that followed was brutal and systematic. Polish political leaders, military officers, and intellectuals were arrested or executed. Jewish communities were forced into ghettos, setting the stage for future atrocities. Yet Poland did not surrender its spirit. Almost immediately, an underground resistance movement began to form. Secret schools, newspapers, and armed groups emerged, determined to continue the fight. Polish soldiers escaped to fight alongside the Allies in France, Britain, and beyond. Despite the defeat, Poland remained an active participant in the war against Nazi Germany. The invasion of Poland had consequences far beyond its borders. What Hitler had intended as a swift regional conquest triggered a global conflict. World War II had begun. Over the next 6 years, the war would engulf continents, destroy cities, and claim tens of millions of lives. The attack on Poland was not merely the opening campaign of the war, it was the moment when diplomacy failed completely and the world descended into total war.